Okay, so we are going to be live in one hot second. Oh, and ringer's off, by the way. All right. We should be live, people.
Hi, everybody. This is Lisa with Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for joining us for this week's Learning Curve Summit. So this week we're talking to some local business owners about how COVID has affected them and how they're doing business with COVID-19 during these unprecedented times. So we have our own Mike Frey from Harry's Beach Bar. Hi, Mike. We have Joanne Curry from Splash Cafe. Hi, Joanne. And we have Shelly. And you know what, Shelly? I never knew what your last name was. I just know you. Shelly from Drift Boutique, where my necklace is from. So today we're just going to hear about how these different businesses are doing business and how they're coping. So,
well, and don't forget, obviously we have yourself, Lisa, but you have Pismo Beach Optics, and
yes,
Valerie, have Noble Productions and Marketing, and we're hopeful that Miss Erica can get back on the call with Dolphin Bay, but there's some technical challenges right now, so.
Yeah, so hopefully we will hear from Erica. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. You can chat with us and ask any questions, and we'll get to those as we go through. So Mike, we're going to start with you with Harry's. How are things going over there for you?
Or how are they not?
Yeah.
How are they not going?
Are you essential or non-essential?
Well, we're still non-essential at Harry's, and we got the T-shirts to prove it. No, Harry's is we're doing a lot of work inside over there. We've done quite a bit of work already, almost completely redone the stage, so it's more solid, and it's a little covers a little more a little bigger footprint, and it's got new carpet on it. It's got a new look to it, and it'll have some sound enhancements to it as well. And we've also been we've done things like poured a new epoxy floor underneath where the bartenders stand there. We've done some repair and maintenance, and really with the outlook for bars like us, for not knowing when we're going to come back, we've made the decision here recently to bite off a few more improvements that are going to actually keep us busy for the next 2 months. So I'm hopeful that if the conditions warrant it, that we'll be back open in the fall.
We're all hoping so, Mike.
And you guys are getting a ton of people inquiring and still showing up. And I think on big weekends like 4th of July weekend, you're getting that many more people asking about Harry's being open and when it's going to open and all that good stuff. So I know you guys are fielding a lot of calls too.
Yeah, we are. We're getting inquiries, probably at the rate of about 15 or 20 inquiries a day. We're pretty good about answering them on Facebook or whatever social media that they're coming across on, usually on Facebook. And I think to the consumer, when they hear Pismo is open and the beaches are open and Pismo is open, they just automatically connect the dots like everything is open. Their typical Pismo experience, whether it's shopping at the boutiques or getting their clam chowder from Splash or whatever they do, they just think, okay, it's all open and it's going to be what they're accustomed to and what they expect. And what I think they're going to find when they arrive is that it's a very different experience for now. So that's the challenge.
It is.
Managing the expectations, I guess.
But the good news is Harry's will be better than ever when it does open. Hey.
Oh, nice shirt. Thank you. Thanks for the plug.
Yeah. Hey, cool.
No, yeah, it's going to be great when we're allowed to open. Technically, well, up until the governor's order yesterday, we could have been open, at some very limited percentage. I think it was 25%. And it just doesn't make sense to, staff Harry's up and bring in a band. That costs money, and it takes places. If you're only allowed a certain number of people in the bar, by the time you add staff and bands, you don't have enough customers to make it worthwhile. So that's really why we were not in a hurry to reopen under the limited circumstances.
And Mike, along with Harry's, you also own the beautiful Pismo Beach Hotel there. So
yes,
as a hotel owner, how are things going for you at the hotel?
things are going well at the hotel. I would say that they're it's actually about on par with year ago numbers. At least that's what we saw in June. And the rates are a little bit higher than a year ago, so we probably had the same money but not quite as many rooms rented. I think people are being cautious. Hopefully they're being cautious about circulating in groups in public and whatnot. I know that the last 5 or 6 weekends at the beach have been very busy, and this is probably going to be the busiest one yet, in spite of the fact that there's no official fireworks show.
Now, are you guys booked for this weekend, or how?
We actually have some rooms available for this weekend.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
anybody's making a last minute plan, give us a call. Yeah, we'll get them hooked up.
And Erica, yay, you made it.
Hi,
Erica with
Hey, there's Erica.
I'm here. Sorry. I might be
Um,
young, but I'm not tech savvy.
well, you did it though. You
Yeah.
did it. We're proud of you. But spinning off of Mike, at Pismo Beach Hotel. So Erica's being the GM there at Dolphin Bay. So I know things have been kind of chaos for you guys, and you guys were just recently close to that fire on top of everything else. And so
Yeah.
we've been checking in on you here and there. And I know you said there's been a lot of anxiety going on these days, but
To say the least, yes. Yeah.
but how are things, how are you guys doing with all this?
Yeah, it's good. The interesting thing is that we have to balance I'm just going to close my door really quick, but we have to balance here the extremes with all of the opinions that everyone has on this situation that's going on right now. So we have people who want to come to the resort and not have to wear a mask.
Right.
But then we have the people that get mad when they see other guests not wearing a mask and that we're not enforcing it. So we're kind of trying to navigate through those changes, and being in the hospitality industry, the guest is always right. And so we're really trying to work on that and do our part in preventing the spread and making sure that everyone is wearing their face mask. Again, it doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is, and it's what we have to do, and we don't have a choice. And also educating people on mask use, and putting it under your nose isn't going to do anything, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been a challenge, but we're staying busy. People are, we weren't. March, April, and May were pretty devastating for us, but into June and July is looking really busy for us. So we're just trying to keep our guests happy with minimal staff and do our best.
Now, are you guys booked for this weekend?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah,
Okay.
we might have a room left here or there, but last minute cancellation since Newsom made the closures in the 19 counties. We were missed, surprisingly, but I think people thought that everything was going to be closed if they came. So a few people canceled, but we had a long wait list, and people booked. So we'll be full this weekend. I'm a little nervous about the restaurant and how busy it's going to be at the restaurant, because the crowds used to go to downtown Pismo or wherever to do their fireworks celebration, and that's not happening. So what does that mean for us? Does that mean there are going to be more people going out in restaurants? And the more people are, the higher the chances are for exposure, and that would be detrimental to any business, but our business with mandatory quarantines and even just the possibility of being in contact with someone. So
Now, are
that's
you
a
guys
little
fully
nerve-wracking.
staffed? Are you guys at full
No.
staff, or you're still working on your staffing, right?
Yeah, we're still, trying to hire people. And so we could use few more people around property, but we're making it work. I'm
Any
working the front desk.
everybody-
Hi, I'm a front desk agent.
any
Need a
key
job.
positions you want to mention? Any key positions you're looking for that you want to mention while we're on here?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for front desk agents. We're looking for kitchen staff. We can always use more housekeepers. So yeah, pretty much everything.
Everything. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're pretty staffed up with restaurant servers, but other than that, every other position.
Well, my sister and I went and ate the other day, and it was absolutely amazing. So,
Yay!
yeah,
Awesome.
service, everything was great. So
Good.
we had to go have a bubbly lunch.
Thank you for your Facebook post too. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
shout
Always,
out.
always. It's all good.
Yeah.
So who next? You want to, Shelley or Joanne, want to jump in, or?
Joanne.
Sure, I can jump in. I'm happy to. Joanne Curry from Splash Cafe. We are, as everybody says, navigating through these challenging times. The weekends are kind of insane. The weekdays are a lot more manageable. We're understaffed, as is Erica and everybody else, I think. So we're hiring like crazy. We're in a situation where right now we're not open for inside dining at all. We're still only doing takeout and delivery, which is working out basically fine. I mean, we were already kind of set up for that. We already had a strong takeout business, and we were already set up with all of the online ordering platforms. And so that was easy to segue into being 100% that. But it has its own challenges for sure. That packaging time and expense is a lot. It's harder on the kitchen to put everything in boxes and make sure everything looks nice. It's a lot easier in baskets and things like that. So that's challenging. And then to get people to come and pick up.
We're getting feedback from somebody. There's feedback coming through, some audio feedback. Okay, go ahead, Joanne.
Anyway, getting people to come and pick up on time and then not be unhappy if they're a half an hour after the food was ready. And then it's like, well, our food is cold. It's like, well, we told you to be ready a half an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we always tell them 10 to 15 minutes because we don't want to tell them 20 or 30 because then they'll say, oh, I'll have another beer. And then they'll forget. And then they'll show up an hour later and then the food is cold. So we just tell them 10 to 15 minutes pretty much no matter what. And just work really hard to get it out as fast as humanly possible. We're in the middle of doing a little backroom remodel right now. So like Harry's, we're taking an opportunity for this time to do kind of a little bit of dreamscaping that we've always wanted to do. So right now our pickup area is in the side door. So even if we wanted to open for inside dining, it wouldn't really be practical because guests would come in the front door and then there's no side door to leave. And even though lots of restaurants only have one door for ingress and egress, at our restaurant, everything gets so cramped and crowded that it would be really uncomfortable for everyone, including the staff, to have people coming and going in the line and everything all out of one door. So we've taken out the French doors that were in the back dining room. We've put in a half wall, and then we actually took two of the French doors and framed them sideways and created open air
Nice
situation and built-in countertops. And so for the time being, we're going to create that to be the order for takeout and pickup for takeout area, and not a customer seating area, but it's designed to be very fluid. So someday when life is back to normal, if in case it really ever is, then that could be a really nice open air seating area.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
So we're excited about that. So we're just kind of in the middle of that process right now.
No, I would say probably out of the majority of our downtown businesses that have been able to more so be open, that you probably had the most challenges and had to change your model literally from week to week based on the line that you had out there at any given time, which made news a lot. So
Yeah,
That's a good problem to have.
yeah,
the first 3 weeks of May were extremely challenging when we went from 0 to 90 in like 1 second. So, you know, the end of March and all of April were devastating. The whole downtown, you could shoot a cannon down, to use an old phrase, you know, nobody would ever even known. And you could stand there in the middle of the street and just feel so devastatingly
Yeah.
sad.
It was sad. It was so
It was
sad.
very sad, and
Yeah.
it took me back many, many years. I've been on that corner for 28 years. So it took me way back to when Pismo was very young.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like the entire San Joaquin Valley decided enough is enough, and they just showed up. And so that was very hard to deal with and navigate. And we had to morph every weekend, something different, trying to help out and try and be good community leaders, and to make sure that we were sensitive to the issues that the city and the police department were having, and the community of Pismo Beach as well, you know, and all of their concerns. So we did finally end up morphing into just strictly pick up and take out. And we actually brought in a 50-line call center into the building. So we have 3 people on phones pretty much all day long, and we have 50 lines. So people just wait in line, and they're just queued up, and the call is answered in the order in which it was received.
So crazy.
So, so that's been that was a big kind of evolution, but it's working out reasonably well. The weekdays are, in May, our sales were really up. June, our weekends are up, but our weekdays are not up compared to last year's June, because June is usually, you know, full-blown summer mode. So every day is a Saturday. This year, not quite so much yet, but that's okay. You know, we're not staffed up for that. Our staff is already dealing with a lot. And so we're just making sure that we're really sensitive to the needs of the staff and the customers, and weathering through the
rest of the pandemic. And
Yeah.
are you back to staff, or are you still also
No, we're hiring like crazy.
you're still hiring too also? Okay.
And
Still-
Joanne, what are you putting in, like 70 hours a week right now?
I'm back to 70 hours a week. Yeah. I went back about 15 years in my life. But that's okay. You know, I'm a tough old bird.
Yes, you are.
You've been amazing through this, though, working right by the chamber side. So we appreciate it very much.
100%.
Very much. And
Thank
Miss
you.
Shelley,
Yes.
how is our little wonderful boutique that we all love so much?
Going good. It's going good. We've made changes too. It's been different, but it's okay. It's okay. We've had good response from it. People are wanting to shop, definitely get out. So, you know, you kind of go back and forth with it, because you're like, yes, come in, but you know, you want to keep everything safe, and you know, I just worry about everything.
Now,
So
tell
Shelley,
people approximately where you're located and the kind of clothing that you have in there, if you would kind of touch on.
Yeah. So we are at 178 Pomeroy. We're affiliated with the Inn at the Pier Hotel.
Mhm.
So we're in one of their spaces. Splash is catty corner from us. And Harry's right up the way. We love both of you, because Harry's, we love everybody who comes from you, Splash. So, but we're a women's clothing accessories boutique. So we only, yes, Lisa has one of our necklaces on. So no, it's been good. It's, like I said, just been different. We did put up plexiglass, just because I felt like we needed just a little more protection, because a lot of people were coming in without masks. I have people sanitizing before they come in. So
And are you limiting the amount of people? Because you have a very small
yes,
space.
we're very small. So if they're together, I'll let them in. Otherwise, we're limiting it in. So, and pretty much, I've got to say, people are pretty respectful of it.
Have they
So
been? Okay, good.
yes, they have been. We have not had any issues. So
Okay.
That's been nice.
That's what we want to hear, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, everybody's been really positive about it. So
Okay.
Good. And can people try clothes on, or are you trying to?
So
uh,
I'm trying to limit them not trying on, but I understand I also have a return policy right now of no returns, which I usually take them, but due to COVID, I had to look at it and say, well, so I do sanitizing. If they try it on, it doesn't go right back on. There's a little sanitizing process I do. So, I mean,
Okay.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so if they want to, I'd rather them try it on and not take it to their house because
Yeah.
like
And
it's,
so, but people were ready to get back to shopping,
oh yes,
right?
yes, it
Yeah.
has been during the weekdays has even been pretty busy. It's
Yeah.
been definitely busy. I'm nervous about this weekend.
I think
We
everybody
all
is.
are.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all are.
Yeah.
That's why we had the plexiglass installed today and
Okay, good.
feel much better.
I mean, yeah, everything's closing around us, which is not new
Yeah.
news to anybody. So the probability of them coming here, and when I say them, I'm talking everybody around us, from
Everybody.
LA to
Mhm.
up north to the valley. So
Mhm.
everybody just has to continue to encourage mask wearing and try to be safe, ourselves. I mean, it's what Mike and I were talking about, how many weeks ago, Mike, I don't know anybody personally that has had the virus. Um, and Mike hadn't neither. And then now how many people do you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, as we were talking earlier today, 3 weeks ago, I didn't even personally know anybody that had the virus. And in the last couple of weeks, I now know 5 people that have the virus. Not, I haven't been around any of them, but I know these people. And one of them died. It's like we found out that he had the virus on Monday. He said, "I'm not going to make the golf tournament in a couple of weeks, and I'm quarantined with COVID." That was Monday afternoon, and Tuesday night he died, and he didn't even know he was that sick. He just died in his sleep. So
It's real.
terribly contagious, and it's terribly deadly.
Is that the 94-year-old person?
No,
That was
He's
somebody
in-
from out of the county?
No,
Bakersfield.
he's in Bakersfield. He was 70, but he
Yeah.
was in excellent condition. He was a guy that took care of himself. He was very, very fit. But I did find out that he had maybe some underlying heart conditions or something. But to look at him, you would say that's a very healthy guy for 70 years old.
That's
Mhm.
great.
So
Wow.
sorry for that, Mike.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That I found out yesterday, and I've just been kind of stunned since then.
That's the reality of it, still. So, but, and Lisa, I mean, your situation has been a lot challenging too. I mean, you're just coming off of your last rounds of chemo and everything else. And so you were not supposed to be out in public at all. So your business changed, and I think you're still doing by appointments, but you didn't for quite some time. And it's still got to be scary for you.
Yeah, it is scary out there. I am out in public, obviously, Joanne. We've seen a lot of each other, and Shelley, you've seen me around. But even though I'm out in public, when I'm indoors, especially, I wear my mask if I'm with somebody else. If I'm outside, I am a little bit more lenient with it. My doctor also said that I shouldn't be wearing the mask full time. So to limit my mask time. So when I am outside walking, I don't wear a mask. Although a couple of weeks ago, we were walking downtown and there were so many people, I did put my mask on while walking on the street. And I actually went out in the street instead of on the sidewalk
Yeah.
walking down Pomeroy, because it was just so congested.
Yeah.
And I put my mask on because I don't know, I just felt uncomfortable. So I thought that I should. But in my store, I wear my mask. And then in between each patient, I wipe everything down, chairs, doors. My door has never been so clean. All the glasses get sanitized, the reading card that they may touch or the mirror. And so it's definitely a different norm, but it's working. I'm getting to see people. I did have somebody that needed a repair, and I had somebody in the store trying on glasses yesterday. And so I went to their car, got their glasses, repaired them, and then took them out to them in the car. And it works. Everybody's happy. I think the scariest thing, though, is that I know of an optical store in Santa Maria where they're questioning people, and I do the same with my patients, but 99% of my patients are locals. I have very few tourists that come in. Maybe they might need a repair, but they don't really shop from me. But these are local people that have actually, sorry for a lack of words, lied. One lady went to an optical store in our area, and the optometrist, the questions are, have you left California? Have you been around anybody with COVID? Have you been tested for COVID? And this one lady said, no, 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 no. And then when she sat down with the optometrist said, wow, your hair looks so beautiful. And the lady responded, oh, I just got back from Arizona and I had my hair and nails done. So, and then another lady said the same thing, kind of, no, no, no. No, I've not been tested. No, I've not been around anybody with COVID, and went into an office and took a call on speaker, and it was her test results for COVID, and she was positive. So everybody in that store was then,
exposed. Yeah.
exposed to COVID. And so I do sometimes worry, because I asked my patients too. I haven't been taking temperatures, but that's going to start in my store. So within the next week, I will start taking temperatures because, we just all have to be careful. Mm-hmm. So
especially in your specific situation,
exactly.
we started doing it for employees. It like it said before, it would be devastating for someone to be exposed. We'd have to close. We can't have multiple people off for 2 weeks. So
right.
In your specific situation too, I think that's important.
Definitely. I hate the idea of thinking that people aren't being honest, I just think that everybody out there needs to be honest to help protect all of us.
Right.
We're one of the last to be open. So, part of me feels like after this weekend, which I also said the weekend of Memorial Day weekend, I said, if our beach will get closed or we get closed down, it's going to be after this. And that's kind of how I feel about 4th of July weekend, after this and how crazy it is, and whatever cases, increase after this, then, maybe we will be closed down. I don't know, but we get messages at the chamber on a daily basis asking, of course, there was a lot of, is our beach going to close? And, do we still discourage people from coming? It's like this whole thing, we're all on the fence with the whole thing too, because there's nothing keeping anybody from coming here. They want somewhere to go,
Well, it's Pismo Beach. We live in a tourist town, and tourists are going to come, and we appreciate our tourists. We need tourists to come. That is what Pismo was built on. It's, it's a beach tourist community. And during these times, we also have to remember that we need to stay safe for everybody.
And as far as our bars, our only real bar was Harry's, we have all the restaurant bars and those are, limited, but, as with San Luis bars being closed, they're going to push into somewhere.
Right.
And, we're right next door. So, it's just, that's where it gets a little bit scary, I think, for the rest of us. So, everybody's going to be on their toes, I'm sure, but it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed. We're getting like 50 calls a day at the chamber. So, so yeah,
This weekend's definitely going to be very busy.
yeah.
I have no doubt about it. We're all ready for kind of an overwhelming situation. I'm just with my staff saying, just keep a deep breath, one foot in
Yep.
front of the other, just keep calm and
Yep.
we'll just work it through. It'll be okay. But it's definitely, even in the San Luis location, everybody's getting ready for a really crazy weekend.
Yep.
Right.
And Mike's sitting back going, well, good luck with that, guys.
You're gonna miss the fun, Mike.
Yeah, we're gonna miss
See,
the
there are
fun.
benefits for the non-essential.
Yeah, at Harry's, we're just spending money faster than we can make it. So,
You're not making any.
Yeah.
yeah, we're not making any money.
Now, Mike, what are the hours of your t-shirt shop? I'm gonna hold up your
Oh
t-shirt.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, wait a minute.
Yeah, so that's. It seems like a funny time to open up a gift shop for Harry's.
Well, not
global
really though.
pandemic.
'Cause at least they can still leave with a gift from Harry's.
Yes, that's the idea. And we're typically, Kelly Zeiders is in charge of that. And she's open it Thursday through Sunday. And I think she's probably starting around 10 a.m. would be my guess.
I love the artwork.
Pretty
Thanks.
cool. Huh?
It's funny. Well, yeah, we worked hard on that shirt in particular. You can wear that in a lot of places. I wouldn't wear it to church. So you might get kicked out of Sunday school with that one. But anyway, no, Kelly's down there Thursdays from about I think 10 to 4 or 5, something like that. And yeah, we're working on some new designs. We're working on some new non-essential designs, and we've got all kinds of fun stuff other than t-shirts and hats. We've got scarves or bandanas.
The bandanas are super.
That's what I've been
cool.
wearing for a mask when I
They
need to
are
wear one.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we got bandanas in 3 different colors, and
they're all on your website, right? Everything's on your website because people can
sure
shop
hope so.
online.
I hope they are.
Yeah, they are. They are. People can shop online too for them. So
Yeah, but but it's funny, I think people get really confused because they see Harry's and they walk in, they're like, is this the new entrance to Harry's? Like, no, this is just a t-shirt shop. And some of them actually get mad. They're like, oh, you tricked me. I wanted to have a beer.
right.
Now we're offering something extra here, but
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know if she's got them on the wall yet, but I know she's got barbecue aprons are in the making, and
Cool.
just all kinds of fun stuff. There's coffee mugs and lighters and all kinds of cool stuff.
So people can
anyway.
still support Harry's non-essential by purchasing some cool swag.
And Mike, we have a question. Where is your swag store?
It's right next door to Harry's.
Yeah, it's right next door. It's essentially it's across the street from is it Penny V's?
Oh, that little, yeah, is that what it's called?
The little turquoise
G&T.
one that's connected to Cool Cats.
G and Me.
Oh, G and Me?
G and Me's. Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
So
Okay.
you're kind of across
Is it
from
like
it here.
Gyms or something?
What's that?
What was that question?
Is it G and Gyms or something?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
So
it.
maybe.
Okay, there you go.
Bingo.
Across
Anyway,
from it here.
It's right across from there where there's a couple of big orange banners that when it's open, you'll know it's open because there's some big banners advertising it. And anyway, we're having fun with that. We're developing some new things for that, and the community's been very supportive. So.
What about your
Good.
live streaming? The
Oh yeah, that's
live
right. Well,
streaming. We got to talk about that.
well, that's one of the things. One of the hardest hit sectors of this whole thing has been the musicians. I got to give a plug to the musicians because those guys and gals have basically been, out of work, indefinitely since this thing began, and still don't really have any hope of getting any, meaningful work. They've got them all shut down. They had musicians planned to play up in the North County, and they pulled their permits, for this weekend. So they're those poor musicians just can't catch a break. So we tried to help them out. Harry's has a pretty strong Facebook following. We've got a little over 18,000 people that follow us on Facebook. And so we have been connecting not only the musicians that play at Harry's, but musicians from a broad spectrum of genres. And we've been connecting them to our Facebook feed via the live streaming. And they can get some exposure. They may get some private gigs out of that kind of exposure. They can get tips. They're set up with typically with PayPal and Venmo. And so we've had musicians from all over the country, even out of the country. We had one fellow who was tremendous, TJ Morrison from up in Canada, on the eastern side over there. So
And now more people are going to know about Pismo Beach.
yeah, that's right. More exposure for Pismo Beach. We had a good friend of mine is a tremendous Sinatra type singer, Roger Martin, the lounge guy, and he put on a terrific show. And so anybody that can figure out how to do the live stream can live stream their musicianship on harrysnonessentials.com.
Pretty cool.
Well, Noble Productions, I know you've been helping out Harry's also with music.
Well, yeah, something that Noble Productions has recently gone through, and I should have Simon here because he's kind of the brains behind it all, but live streaming, I mean, obviously that became something that was very big, and even streaming live here on Facebook right now, like all of the outlets that are out there, we have to really dive into, know how they work, get all of the appropriate equipment. As you can see, I have a professional mic, I've got a professional camera, I get hooked up. But we had to be able to take our equipment and be mobile with it. And so we bought a new laptop, which I'm on right now, just so that we can go out and do mobile live streaming. So in addition to assisting Harry's with that kind of support, we help Basin Street regulars. So Simon goes to Santa Maria once a month, helps them with their stream. And we're mobile, so it's pushed us to be better at what we do. And now we're learning how to stream on a whole different level. And so he's loving it. Simon is just diving right into the stuff. And I just say, I need a stream here, or somebody needs support there. And he's all over it, but he's learning a lot. And then in the meanwhile, I'm still doing all my trainings with small businesses and social media, because obviously that became the primary outlet of marketing during this time. And, I did a lot of free support, a lot of free marketing for a lot of businesses throughout this, because I had to, without the small businesses, I don't have a business. Noble Productions doesn't exist without any of these guys or you guys. So it's important that we help each other through these times, and that's exactly what Noble Productions has been doing. So, and then, of course, the chamber helps consume a lot of my time.
Yes, it does, Val. Thank you.
I love the chamber.
Yeah. And, with that talk of the chamber, just really quick, I want to give a shout out to Jeanette, who is our secretary and has been answering all of the phone calls. So there is a live person with the chamber all the time. She answers all the phone calls. I think 50 of them yesterday, 40 of them maybe plus now today. So
that's a lot.
Everybody out. So yeah, Jeanette, thank you.
Okay. And we want to give them maybe a couple updates on, because the promenade and the pier was going to open today, which has now been postponed. There's no definite date on that. And we're just getting information as it comes down from the city. So, and right now there's still no date, right?
Correct. There's no date for when it opens. And I think the most important one too is that there are no fireworks allowed in Pismo Beach or Shell Beach, not at the beach, not at your home, and not at the park. So
what's that
no
fine?
fireworks this year.
What's the fine?
$2,000.
Right. Okay. And then recently, I want to give you props here, Lisa, because Lisa's been adamant about doing our beach cleanups every Sunday, 8 a.m. And those have been happening, and we've been getting great turnout and support from the community. Harry's, your crew there has been amazing, and they come out like every weekend and help out. But Lisa and Garrett, her husband, took it a step further this past Sunday and actually walked the streets and went up to Price Street and picked up over 300 cigarette butts. And so to just do that and clean up our streets to that extent, I just wanted to say thank you so much. But it's people like that that truly care about, you know, our beach community and appreciate it. And anybody watching here from anywhere, you know, that comes to visit, we're happy to have you, but please pick up your trash. Please don't put your cigarette butts out on our streets. You know, we're the ones out there trying to help keep our community clean so that you can keep coming back and visiting a beautiful place. And it's hard because we literally see people dumping trash and leaving trash behind and, you know, riding on our sidewalks. And I mean, we encounter a lot of things, and not that any other community doesn't, but it's really troublesome and it's hard to watch when we live in such a beautiful place that everybody likes to travel to. Why would you destroy an area that you continue to bring your families back to? So we just ask you to respect our beach communities, just as you would your own home.
Right. The problem with the cigarettes too is the filters are not biodegradable. So the filter, we're at the beach. That filter goes into our ocean and it kills fish and it kills marine life. And you know, our oceans have been here for what, 4,000 or 5,000 years or million years? And, not thousand, sorry, million. Says the girl with still the weird brain. But millions of years, and we need to protect our oceans. So it's really important. It would be really helpful if people would just put their cigarette out and then just throw it away in the trash can or something, not dump it on the street. So
I was in Morro Bay the other day and they have little buckets that say something like, don't leave your butts behind or, you know, whatever it is. But I don't know if the city would look at that as encouraging. I don't know, but
I like the, sorry to interrupt. I like the little saying that was leave only footprints on the beach
Yes,
or something of that nature. That was classy.
that was so cool. That was
yeah.
yeah, everybody really liked that. So good post there, Lisa.
yeah.
That was a huge reach. But yeah, exactly. It's like a message, but it's kind of a funny message, but you get it, you know, you get it. So it's just not asking too much, I feel like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And anything else as far as updates that I think, you know, I think the business community has been staying pretty close with the chamber throughout this. And I hope all the businesses know that no matter what business you have, where you're at, whether you're a member or not, you know, if there's assistance you need or direction, or you have questions, or you hear rumors or whatever it is, I'll put Lisa and my cell phone numbers, because we are totally fine with you guys text messaging us and asking questions, and we'll always try to steer you in the right direction, or we'll ask the chief, or we'll ask the city manager, you know, whoever we have to go to get the answers for you. The rumors, I think, are one of the worst things that kind of seem to kind of swirl through our communities and probably everywhere else, especially right now. So always feel like and know that you can message us, you know.
Even if you have an emergency and you feel like, you know, you need to text us and have us, you know, get out to the correct people, we're there to help you out whenever we can. So
and
love our community.
I'm trying to see on Facebook if we've got any additional. Everybody's just thanking us, you know, for the call today. I think it's good for a lot of places like Shelley up on Price Street. She doesn't get downtown very often, and she's of course working her store. So it's good to hear other feedback and what other businesses are having to deal with. So
I think one thing that'll happen this weekend is I think we're going to be enormously busy, like we've been talking about, but it won't be going into the later evening like it typically does on 4th of July because of not having fireworks. So I think it'll close up a little earlier, or people will siphon out into the restaurants or back to their hotels, Erica,
Great.
at an earlier hour.
Perfect.
To kind of finish out their evenings, because it's, you know, there's just not going to be the longevity at the beach that there usually is, because 4th of July and that whole weekend, they're usually down at the beach till like 10 o'clock at night. And I just don't see that as a probability. I think they're probably going to be wrapping it up, you know, 8 or 9 o'clock, you know, back into the restaurants or restaurant bars or hotel bars.
Yeah, exactly.
To wrap up their evenings. So I think that's going to be a different dynamic this weekend than we normally have on the 4th of July.
I agree for sure.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll-
normally it's really
Sunday.
quiet for us in the restaurant on 4th of July, but we're staffed up anticipating that it's going to be crazy because people aren't going to be downtown.
I think
And
so.
then, yeah, evening, having more support in the evening crew, because like you said, you know, they are going to be here and finishing their evening on property instead of, you know,
Exactly.
whooping
It's gonna
it
be a
up
beautiful
down by the
weekend.
pier.
The
Yeah.
weather's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be in the 80s. So they're definitely
80s,
going to hit
yeah.
the beach early on and spend the day.
Yep.
But by the time evening rolls around, I think they'll be starting to scatter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Perfect.
It's going to be crazy. So you want to remind everybody again, Lisa, about the beach cleanup, and know that, you know, you don't have to come to the beach cleanup to feel like you can clean up our beach. Like you can clean up anytime, you know, bring a bag anytime and
if
knock
you see a
yourself
piece
out.
of trash, feel free to pick it up anytime. But our beach cleanups are every Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I drive down there. The back of my car is open. I'm usually right there in between Woolies and I think it's Beach something. But the back of my car is always open. Again, I have trash bags, I have gloves, and I have masks for anybody. And then I do want to thank our sponsors because we do have some sponsors. Splash Cafe, Joanne, thank you so much for your generosity. We also have Cool Cats in Pismo that is a sponsor, and Beach and Biscuits. So come on out, help us pick up trash. Rick, I see you are on Facebook looking at us. Hi. Rick, you're great. You come out on Sundays and help us pick up trash, and I really do appreciate you and the Harry's gang.
Yep.
But hopefully, yeah, this Sunday it won't be so bad. But we'll be out there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. We will, Lisa.
Yes, we will. Even though, what are we doing on Saturday, Val?
I know. Live streaming.
Give a plug out. Who are we live streaming?
So we're going to be live streaming the Legends, and of course this is through the Harry's page. So at 6 o'clock on Saturday from 6 to 8 there will be live streaming the Legends, and they're a pretty good band. They play regularly at Harry's when you guys are open, and we're just, again, you know, trying to do our part and help out, and this allows Noble Productions to provide a professional stream, testing, all that good stuff. So so if you're not doing anything or you want to listen to some live music through Harry's, go to the Harry's Facebook page or the Harry's YouTube channel, and Noble Productions will be bringing you that live stream. So from Lisa's house. So this will be more challenging because we'll be in an actual rural area, but we're up for the challenge, and we think we're going to be able to provide a pretty amazing stream. So
Yeah.
so it's a combined effort, but it's gonna be super awesome. So
Yeah. Peak Wi-Fi turned up our uploading to something crazy. So it should work great.
17, Mike. They increased their Wi-Fi speed up to 17.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
fast. Good for
That's
you.
super
Hey,
fast.
can I give a quick shout out to Rick and Anthony and the crew at Harry's I was really proud of those guys and gals. They did that whole beach cleanup idea coming out like that all completely on their own. They had no direction from me whatsoever. That was just their own, you know, good heart.
You have a good crew. You have a very good crew.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yep.
So, well, thank you, because they must have a good leader.
Some days are better than others.
All right. Well, any last words for anybody? All right. Good luck this weekend, everyone. Stay
Yeah.
safe.
Go Pismo.
Thank you so
We've
much.
got this. Everyone's got this. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Pismo strong, baby. Always.
Thank you all so much for
Bye.
being on.
Bye.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
weekend.